Hello, hello. We're here again. Hopefully you can see me. I should look gorgeous. More gorgeous than usual. Yeah. So how is everyone? Where is everyone? Are you here? I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Oh, wait a minute. G-Man's in and he's first, and so's Lenin. And he's not late. Or at least we've got two people in. Hope everyone's okay. We're all here. Good. Everything should be tickety-boo. I should, like I said, new camera. I should look gorgeous. More gorgeous than usual. Yeah. So I don't know what anyone wants to talk about. Anyone want to talk? Okay, just me then. I'm sure the rest will turn up soon. Here they are. Sonny's in, Jarvid's in, Sim is in, and he's from Australia. Patrick's in. He says, "Hi Darren, what are some YouTubers do you follow?" I think I remember mentioning Red Letter Media. Yeah, I do. Right. Okay. Well, I don't publish my list because I think you can. I've got many. Oh, wait a minute. I can't tell you because it's on a different account. I've got different accounts. See, I have an account to do this, and I have an account that I use to subscribe to. So I have, well, me obviously, 60 Cycle Hum, he's a guitarist. Ableton, Acoustic Trench, he's the guy with the dog. Adam Buxton, no, he doesn't post anymore. Adrian Bliss, he was good. All Guitar Network. There's going to be a lot of guitar stuff. All Saints Records, Amoeba, Analog Planet, Andertons, of course. Who's that fella? I don't know who that is. Loads of people. Baxter Jury, Baumgartner Restorations. He restores artwork. It's fantastic. Beat Club. I've just got into those recently. I'm surprised that I never subscribed to them sooner. Funny enough. Yeah, loads. Oh, Casey Neistat. Who remembers him? Daniel Lanois, of course. Dave's World of Fun Stuff. He used to subscribe to me back in the day. I remember when he had no subscribers. I was there at the beginning. I like watching people repairing guitars. Doctor Who. Fail Army. Got to have Fail Army. Gaz Williams. Because I'm a big follower of Sonic State and those guys. Of course, H3H3. And loads of too many. Jim Sterling for gaming. I'm just going through it. Marcus Fuller, he hasn't posted anything in a long time. He does good repair stuff. Some bloke called Naz Nomad, but we don't like to talk about him. He's Canadian. Don't talk about him. He's probably watching. Sorry. Portico Quartet. There's this band called Pink Floyd. You might have heard of them. Radiohead. Real World. Hey. Loads of people. Techmoan, of course. I actually appeared in one of Techmoan's videos by accident. He was doing a search, and my mug appears up in his YouTube search, which is funny. I enjoyed that. Anyway, there you go. Lenin goes, afraid because Trump is threatening to deploy the military to quell the protest. Well, yeah, that's what happens when you're right, isn't it? Spin says hello. Sim says hello. Have I heard of Sun Ra? Yeah. Cyrus says, well, hey, yeah, it's all your fault, Cyrus. I hope you're gonna make a donation to the new camera fund now that we have a new camera. And this Look at this. Yeah, it does that, and it can. I've got one of those fancy lenses that doesn't make a noise. Look. It takes a long time to do it, doesn't it? But yeah, it's all your fault. It's all your fault. Sim says red letter media is fantastic. Yeah, they're good fun. Their shtick can be a bit repetitive sometimes, but you know. Payne's in, he's made it. Wilson says Sunrise pretty cool. G-Man says I subscribe to Casey Neistat, Daniel on Days World of Fun stuff too. So there you go. How's my groove been? Wilted. It's wilted, very warm, isn't it? Very moist. I've got a frothy coffee tonight. A frothy one. Where are we? Simon says it's great you don't have to worry about riots and police threats on top of the pandemic. Yeah, well, don't riot, innit? Behave yourself. Patrick says yes, there are. Oh, he's talking. Oh. I'm not going to say that because people will believe it's true, Patrick. I get the joke, but people who don't follow them wouldn't necessarily get the joke. Russell's in. Spindrift says, hey there, do you listen to the Pineapple Thief? Do you recommend any of their albums? I don't recommend any of their albums. Oh dear. I don't recommend any band that has the word pineapple in the title. Listen to one of mine instead. Robert Payne's left the window open because he thinks it's going to rain tonight. Yeah, they're promising some rain. Payne's in. Sonny says Phil DeFranco's pretty good for Unbiased News. Yeah, I watched him for a long time, but I tend to zone out when he starts talking about American politics. So you know, he used to do more kind of worldwide stuff, but he seems to be kind of stuck in the US at the moment, which is a shame. But again, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Wosley wants to know if everyone's keeping well. Patrick wants to know if I've noticed how similar my name is to Darn Luck. I have been. My name has been misspelt. Again, it's not a difficult name to spell, but I was Mr. Rock once, and Mr. Cock. Don't have to talk about it. What can you say? Lenin says, a fantasy festival in his head. Oh God, yeah. Gong, Hawkwind, you know, the usual space rock rubbish. Sarah says, I was going to ask, a matter of fact, what made you change your mind about getting a DSLR? Was it because of the faulty webcam? Yeah, basically. I've been having performance anxiety since September because this piece of shit, it's okay when it streams. When you're streaming, it's fine. But trying to get it to record anything, I mistakenly thought that I could just get rid of my old DSLR because my old DSLR was old. I'd had it since, I don't know, 2012, I think, 2013. I can't remember. I know I had one and I upgraded it, and I had that one for a long period of time, but it was slow. It was not very good at doing autofocus, so you know I couldn't do that. That was even slower than this. So I dumped it because I was worried it was going to. I worry that when you have technology for a long period of time that it's going to break. I know it's crazy. So I thought I'd sell it and get some money for it. I was considering buying another DSLR, and I thought no, this'll work. This'll work. It's okay for streaming. Quality's but no good for doing recordings because when I tried everything because I'm using a Mac. It doesn't like the Mac. It's probably PC, you know, stuff. It just likes the PC. But I tried everything to try and get a decent recording. And if I on 720p, yeah, fine. But anything over 720p, or even the frame rate, it would cause the audio to go out of sync with the video. I mean, you can see it. You can see it on some of the videos. I had to go in and edit the audio track and basically sync it up, and I'd spend, you know, a long time just chopping and I should just bought another camera. So it's been on my mind since September, but I was always hoping that, I don't know, upgrading to the new computer might help. No. Upgrading to Catalina might help. No. Logitech bringing out a new record thing, Logitech Record, might help. No. It got worse. It actually got worse. And so doing videos, it was just, I was like, it's that thing about, is this going to work? Is it going to mess up? And so I was like really reluctant to do videos. It was like, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to go there? Whereas this works. It works fine. It works absolutely dandy, and I've been building up a nice backlog of reviews on the back of that. Yeah, I'm in debt. Thanks, camera, but I'm sure YouTube will pay for it eventually. But no, I've been thinking about doing it for ages, but it's that thing of, oh, you know, can I just muddle through? I tried it with this camera, and this was fine. This is okay. This is, like I said, my £50 Panasonic camera, but the quality was, I don't know, it just was very ruddy. The colours were a bit weird, you know. Whereas this, I can adjust the aperture. I can adjust the aperture on that, but as you can see, I've got the same light that I normally use, but because I can dive deep in, because it's a DSLR, I can dive deep into the aperture settings and the f-stop. Who remembers f-stops? F-stop settings and ISO settings, and look, you can see me, whereas normally it would be, well, quite dark, wouldn't it, in comparison? So, yeah, it needed to be done if I'm going to carry on doing this, and it's that thing of, you know, do I carry on, or do I just do it when I feel confident enough that the equipment's going to work for me? And the thing about doing anything, whether it's recording music or any creative process, is you've got to have equipment that's consistent. Inconsistent equipment just messes with the creative process. You've got to have stuff that works, and now I have a camera that works. Hooray! And look, this looks better already. Look, and this is 60 frames a second streaming, and it seems to be working. We did some tests the other night. We was on was it Saturday night or Sunday night? I can't remember. All blurs into one, doesn't it? And we did some tests, and it's all working tickety boo. And yeah, so thankfully I've got two split ends. I reviewed these today. We did Vangelis the other day, and I got these two. These, if you're a member or a Patreon, these are been reviewed. You might think I've reviewed this one before. I haven't. This is the UK version. The one I reviewed before was the New Zealand version. They're different albums, which I found out today when I listened to it, because I'm thinking, oh wow, this sounds completely different. And wait a minute, there's the track listing's different, and this one as well, which I don't think I've done. And they're coloured vinyl. They were out on Friday, and not Friday. Was it Friday week? Not last Friday. Oh God, it took ages for them to come because we hadn't had any post for about a week. But we got there in the end. So yeah. So yeah, if you are a member, remember you can join for as little as a quid, and there's stuff there for you to look at. And I'm staggering videos and things. And if you're a patron, I'll be posting links there so you can watch the stuff early. I'm sorry, e-begging, whatever you want to call it, but that's the way YouTube is now. They give us these tools because the advertising isn't there, so I've got to use these tools to, you know, yeah, build an audience. You know what they're like. If any of you use YouTube, you know what they are like behind the scenes. I wanted a tip jar. I'm going to keep saying it. I want a tip jar. So if you do want to throw in a quid, you can. Easy. But if not, there's the PayPal link. I know many of you do it. Rene, I don't know if he's on tonight. Rene helped. And let's give some good thoughts to Rene, because he revealed that he's because of the COVID thing, he's lost his job. But he was kind enough to throw in some cash into the camera fund, which again, you know, humbles me because I don't deserve it. All I do is talk bollocks on YouTube and hopefully entertain you and take your mind off of the nonsense that's going on in the world. But it's nice to have people behind you. It's nice to have. So let's give some good thoughts, some good energy back to Renee and everyone else who's out there who's having a hard time. I know Lenin's had a hard time. So let's give some good thoughts, good energy power, mind power, and together we will think all this crap out of existence, and maybe we can, I know, all get along and have a nice life rather than having to worry about all this stuff that's happening. It's not good, is it? It makes you just want to turn it off. Turn it all off. But anyway, hopefully that's answered your question. So I just went around the houses there. Raphael's in. Candrev's in. He says, Darren, I haven't delved into your complete catalogue of videos. Have you done anything by The Clash? Nah, I don't like The Clash. I'm more of a Stranglers kind of guy, or the Pistols. Clash doesn't exist in this dojo. Sorry. Patrick says, I'm sorry people, type 13 diabetes is not really a thing. I know, it's just then if they don't watch Red Letter Media, they're not going to get it. Yeah. Whereas, whereas we get it, where are we? Why did that do that? Okay. Lenin's getting into more Afrofuturism thanks to P-Funk and Sun Ra. Parliament, that's what you want to listen to. Maggot Brain. That's what you want to listen to. Was Animals ever remixed? Asked Sim. Yeah, it exists. It exists in 5.1 apparently, but they're arguing about it. Gilmore doesn't want it released, and Roger Waters does. Lenin says, do you know how to play funk with a guitar and bass? If you do, then you show you're funky. Well, the track I recorded today is me doing Nile Rodgers. I finished the track today. It's I think it's funky, but you might not. But you'll hear that when the new record comes out, whenever that might be. New record, it's not really a record. A new collection of digital files to be streamed. Sim says, so Roger Waters versus Polly Sampson now? No, I think it's Roger Waters versus the organisation, isn't it? Who knows? The thing is Pink Floyd is defunct, and so why shouldn't the Pink Floyd website be used to promote all members of the band, whether it's Syd Barrett, Nick Mason, Richard Wright? That's his argument. And because Pink Floyd isn't a touring band anymore, I tend to agree with him. If Gilmore and Co were still stomping around with their light show, you can understand why they wouldn't want Roger Waters on there, because it's a conflict of interest. But now, as Gilmore has said, he's retired. There's no more Pink Floyd. It's over. Gilmore's in the position that Roger Waters was back in '85. It's gone full circle. So now Roger Waters is saying, well, why don't you just open up the website to all of us, to me as well. And let's face it, Roger Waters tours, Gilmore gets a little bit of the coin because I'm sure he plays comfortably numb, and Gilmore's got a writing credit on that. So it pays each other. But Gilmore was using the Floyd social media to promote Polly Sampson, who isn't a member of Pink Floyd. She wrote a few lyrics on an album once, and that's put Gilmore. Waters' nose out of joint with Gilmore, because it's your fucking wife. It's Spinal Tap territory, isn't it? So that's where it goes. I really love The Clash. That's right. I really love The Clash. Munton's in. Duke of Bud says, hey Darren, hope all is well. Yeah, it's been 3 weeks since my last request. You're about due. Can you please make us laugh and imitate Phil Collins slumped over and sing like an old pensioner? I did that last week. Let me see. I'm trying to think what I could do as Phil Collins. Do we do Genesis or do we do Phil Collins? I've got one for you. You can't hurry, love. Oh, you just have to wait. Oh, love don't come easy. It's just a game of give and take. You're going to be paying £100 to see that. £100. But there won't be any pensioners touring if COVID-19 doesn't have a vaccine, because no one will insure them to tour the world and meet those people. And so all nostalgia acts will be cancelled, and young thrusting bucks with their guitars and basses and drums and the DJs, you know, superstar DJs, they'll be the only people making music. The old people will be put away into old musicians' homes when they'll be locked up and people will have to pay to see them. And it'll be like Jurassic Park, but with rock stars. And they'll all go rogue and start playing cover versions of each other's songs, and it'll get ugly. And that'll be it. Anyway, Lenin Luna says, Bernie Worrell, highly underrated keyboard player. Didn't have all okay. Payne says, quality is great. Thank you. Munton says, I never got the Clash myself. Clash. Nah, they weren't the authentic sound. They were some, you know, some rich boys, you know, middle class boys who got on the train, you know, got on the gravy train. A bit like the Jam in that respect. Paul fucking Weller. Oh. Lenin says, oh, he's still talking about Bernie Worrell. Okay. Munton says, I'm loving the new quality. Yay, good. I'm glad everyone's enjoying it. I'm not. I've seen my credit card bill. I'm not enjoying it. No, again, it's as I explained earlier. I was working with faulty equipment. Does anyone want it? I'm not giving it away. Apparently these are selling for 200 quid on eBay at the moment. The thing is I don't know whether to dump it, because you never know, it might be useful for, I don't know, streaming a performance. Otherwise I'm going to have to move the camera and mount it on a tripod, and that is like doing work, and I'm lazy. You know I'm lazy. You know I can't be bothered with all that crap. But then there's another part of me thinks, you've given me hell for the last how many years, I deserve some sort of compensation. You know, it comes to something when this old webcam, which I got for like, I don't know, 20 quid or whatever it was. This is a Logitech one as well, but I got it in an Amazon sale. This one is not. It's not better quality, but excuse me, it's reliable. I've got the hiccups in. It's reliable, if you know what I mean. Yeah. I'm not convinced. It's probably have the Mac. You see, everything works on the PC. Mac. Payne says the Clash are a bit boring. Exactly. I don't need the funk. Munton says, I found a good copy of World Diary on Discogs. Good for you. It's a very good album. Very good. I've got the groove. Yeah, thanks, Pegasus. Look, I'm not gonna look. What's it? What do you want to see? What is it? You want slap? I don't do slap bass, right? I don't do slap bass because my fingers are really bad. I've got really bad fingers. That's it. That's all I do. That's all you get. I hate slap bass because it's just horrible. I like to feel the groove. I'm more visceral. It's got to make your guts wobble, you know. Yeah. More like dub. I like more dub end. And if I'm going to do that, it's got to be bruh, 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 bruh. With this thing comes in with its groovy nylon strings, and you can go. You can't even hear it. It's so deep. Oh, my fingers. Oh, man. I've been playing a lot today, so my fingers are playing up. I'm tired. I can't really deal with the. I can't really do it. Disorientated. The lights. Whew, it's getting a bit warm here all of a sudden. Where are we? Siren says, yeah, the quality step up. Could turn down the ISO and use more room light. Yeah, but I got one light, right? And I got the light up there, and I got a ring light here, but I don't want to be bombarded with lights, man. This is fine. What are you talking about? This is fine. You know, it's 1:45 here, right? I don't want to have all the lights on. You know, this'll do. You know, considering it's a live stream, there's going to be some compression. You know, it is a live stream, so you know it is what it is. Makes me look realistic, yeah. Oh, I am sorry. I can only apologise for what you see before you. This is 49 years of experience peering back at you. This is what happens when the weight of the world grinds you down. Okay. Ooh. But of course, the real test is the £10 test. Hey, I can fit her all in tonight. Oh. Look, you can see me through the window. How cool was that? You can see me through the window. Here I am. Peep-poo. I'm through the window. Oh, wow. And now everything's gone yellow. Oh, no. The white balance. Hold it. Let me fix that. I have to do. Oh yeah, split ends, absolutely. Says Mop Floyd. Mutton says he's talking about P-Funk, Parliament and Funkadelic, absolutely. Lenny and Luna. Sim says Split Ends True Colours album was a revelation when it came out in Australia. Yeah, they didn't really do much over here. This is the thing. Which is a shame. I've lost the questions. Wait a minute. I'll get it right in a minute. Yeah, psychedelic stuff. Rubbish. Psychedelia. Mann says Roger might have a spare remix copy stuffed in his pillows. I think there. Well, again, there are two, and aren't there two 5.1 mixes of The Wall? Because Roger Waters got Bob Ezrin to do it, and then because again, I'm trying to remember this. I think it was meant to appear in the Wall box set that they did, and unbeknownst to Roger Waters, David Gilmour had got his bloke to do a 5.1, and there's two 5.1 mixes of The Wall, and of course this led to an almighty bust up, and so no one got a surround sound mix. Thanks guys, thanks. And this is why you have to look at those box sets and just go, oh God, it's all done by committee, no one can agree, and it's ridiculous. They're ancient. I should just bleed and we'll get on with it. Peter Cushion says, back from Lake Walk, confirmed there is no writing in Kildare. That's good to know. Cyrus says, he's talking to Garrett. Payne says, Gilmour is a sad old man at this point. Well, again, it's that whole thing about Floyd being over again. Well, if that's the case, let the name go free and let everyone have a fair, crack of the whip. But it doesn't work like that. That's being in a rock and roll band. One's talking about that. Spin asked, do I have an interest in surround sound releases? No. I'm bored with them. They're niche. They always were. They're okay. They're okay for like one listen. Excuse me. They're not necessarily something that I wouldn't necessarily choose the surround sound mix over the stereo. That's it. And the problem with a lot of albums, especially like early stuff, we're talking about until, I don't know, maybe the mid 70s, when they started using like 24, 48 track recording. There's very little point in doing surround sound mixes of a 4-track recording. The Beatles do it. Well, what's the point? 8-track recording, because you're not going to get good spread of instrumentation, or the way they do it. The way I do it is different. I tend to move, if I make the drums kind of a bit bigger and place things. It's just my way of doing things. I try and accentuate the surrounds, the stereo mix. I make it more of a really big stereo mix, and then put some like kind of stuff at the back, like it's mainly keyboards and put a little bit of stuff, a little bit of stuff at the back. It all depends. But again, if you haven't got a lot of instrumentation to play with, then there's not a lot to do. But it's a niche thing. I've always said it was a niche thing. I indulge in it because I have a 5.1 surround sound system, and I've had one since 1996, 97. So it's something I've been interested with, movies and things like that, and something I got interested in with my own stuff. But even remixing my own stuff, I've kind of gone off the board on it, because it's just there's an art to doing a good stereo mix. Surround sound mixing is easy in comparison to stereo mixing because you've got more options. But with stereo, you've got to get everything layered. You've got to adjust EQ, make sure everything fits in the sonic spectrum. And there's a real skill to doing that. And so what I found a little bit boring, boring I think is the right word, is that you toil on getting the perfect stereo mix and it sounds lovely, and then you do the surround sound mix and you just go dum, and it's just you just go it kind of defeats the object of the hard work that you put into the stereo mix. But that's just me, I'm trying to think. I mean, with the old Jethros up there isn't a week go by when we don't mention them, is it? With those, I mean, I do listen to those because I don't own those in any other format, so that's it. But I'm trying to think of... No, I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's niche. It's all niche. And I love the vinyl. I got into the vinyl, innit? I'm a vinyl ponce. Though the Split Ends record today, the Mental Notes one, it sounded really good. And I was because I had a digital version of both those albums that I got from eMusic many years ago, and the vinyl was just superb, much better. I'm not doing any more impersonations, Garrett. I've done one tonight. I can't do it again. I'll have to work on that one. Sorry. Mark Floyd says, Zimmering across the living room, I could turn my ventilator off. That's how old my audience is. Be careful, don't fall over. I don't want you falling over and you can't get up again, Mark Floyd. We don't want that to happen. Mark says, I'm glad I'm not in the city. City life, eh? It's city life. It's no good for you. The thing is, right, and the whole George Floyd thing is appalling. I watched the footage. I wish I hadn't have watched it. You see a man die in front of you. You see a man murdered in front of your eyes. It is a chilling, horrible thing. And what's even more chilling is it is a policeman doing it. Now in the UK, we're lucky. Our police officers are a bit more level-headed, a bit more reasonable than the American police. The American police are brutalistic. They're I think they're all on a fucking power trip, Whereas at least our police officers are a bit more, in control of themselves. They're not armed for a start, and you're not going to get you're not going to get beaten up by a British Bobby. It just ain't going to happen. And if they do, they're going to do it back at the station where no one's going to see it. He fell down the stairs, sir. He walked into a door. But no, the George Floyd thing was appalling. It's never going to change. You see, the thing is, and this isn't taking anything away. I said this last week, I think, or on the live stream. This isn't taking anything away from Black Lives Matter and and that movement, because there is police brutality to black people. They have a hard time of it in America. Disproportionately, I would imagine. Again, it's not something I know a lot about. I trust what I'm told. I see these things happening. But I've seen the police, American police, brutalise all kinds of people. Poor, especially. One of the worst things I ever saw was a deaf guy crossing the road. He was just crossing the road. And for some reason the cop didn't like the look of him. So he got out and he called after the guy. And of course the guy's deaf. Right? He doesn't hear the policeman shouting after him. So the guy pulls his gun and shoots him dead. And he was a white fella, you know. And this is what the American police are like. They are brutal to everyone. You know, and that is an American thing. It's the Wild West. You all think you're cowboys, and you're not. And I hope that things will change. But I mean, crikey, this has been going on since Martin Luther King, and nothing's going to change. And Trump's just using it because he knows he can use this to stay in power. Because he will pretend to be the man of law and order, and he will say that Biden is the friend of the rioters, and that's how this is done. It's political playbook 101 stuff, and it's really boring. And more people are going to get hurt, more people are going to get killed, you know. And I don't think the rioters are doing themselves any favour, because it gives Trump the ammunition to say, look at them, they're not peaceful, they're agitators, open fire, and that'll be it. And that'll win him votes, because America is a racist country. The racists will vote for Trump because he got those agitators shot, even though we know why they're doing what they're doing. It's a real sad state of affairs, and I'm glad I live in the UK. And we are statistically one of the most tolerant countries in the world, definitely in Europe. And don't believe all the crap about Brexit and racism, all this nonsense, because it's bullshit. We are a very tolerant country, and you know, that's the way it is. People wouldn't come here. People wouldn't cling on to dinghies and come and flee persecution from France to live here if we were a bunch of racists who hated people of colour. It's rubbish. I mean, where I grew up in the East End, and what annoys me is the old stereotype that everyone in the East End is racist, and it's not true. You know, again, it's where all the poor go. And so when I grew up in the 70s, you know, we had a very multi-ethnic school, and this is in the 70s. And my old nan, she was a cleaner at the school, and she was so proud. Good old socialist she was. And she was so proud of the school. She go, we got, I can't remember how many, 53 different nationalities, and you know, she was proud of it. And you know, and that's it. And she always taught me to treat people how you find them, you know. Again, when I went to was it senior school, my best friend was a black guy. Worked at Walls together, worked in the stockroom together. Ian, I'd love to know what happened to him. He just disappeared off the scene. And my other friend Fime, I don't know where he came from, but I never asked. It wasn't an issue. He lived round the corner. You know what I'm saying? I never asked him where he came from, but he was of dark skin. And you know, we used to spend a lot of time together, go to London together, and go on, you know, on the tube and buy records and whatnot. And then Anna go, oh, here come the United Nations, she'd say, and she was proud of that. And my son, his best friend Chris, he's black, and he's my son's friend with Chris's sister. Chris is autistic as well, and they get on like they've known each other for a long time. And I think he's got a bit of a soft spot for Chris's sister. And I said to him, oh, you like? Oh, I don't know. Should I name them? Probably not. I said, oh, you like Chris's sister? And he said, oh yeah. I said, what do you like about her? And Herbie said, I like her black skin. And I thought, that's my boy. I'm doing the right job. I said, you might not want to say that, because some people might take offence at that, but I know exactly what, because he was fascinated. He was fascinated by her skin, because, you know, the darkness of it, you know. And, you know, because he's autistic, he hasn't got any airs and graces, as it were. So I said to him, you might want to, but that made me laugh when he said that, because colour doesn't mean anything to him, it doesn't mean anything to me, you know, because that's how I was brought up. But, you know, we live in strange times, and it's a shame that everyone can't just fucking get along, because you cut us, we all bleed. We all want the same thing. You know, if you go to the middle of the fucking Amazon and go and sit with the tribal elders, they'll want the same thing as the guy who lives, you know, lives down the road. It's just, we all want to live, have a good life, and not be bothered by shit that we're dealt with. And poor old George Floyd, you know, he got it, didn't he? He got it, and that's a real shame. And what we're going to do is, I think we're going to have a minute's silence, okay? And that was roughly a minute's silence for George Floyd. We can think about that and think about what's going on and take time to reflect. And on with the show. Sim says, oh my god, that's so true. I won't be doing quarantine in the UK to see the Genesis now. Exactly, this is it. And if you come, you're going to have to do quarantine, and all the old rock stars are going to have, you know, be insured to do the shows, and if they're over 70, they're not going to get the coverage. It's going to cause all sorts of logistical problems when it comes to touring. So, you know, it changes everything. It really does. Maybe they'll do, I don't know, there'll be a big screen and they'll be performing a bit like Disaster Area in Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Disaster Area performed on a planet, on a spaceship orbiting a planet, and then the planet explodes. And that's what will happen with old rock stars. They'll perform in a studio a couple of miles away, and then that'll be beamed in to the venue, and everyone will be sitting. Oh, it doesn't bear thinking about. Thank God I don't go to gigs. Peter Cushing goes, only Joe Strummer came from a wealthy background. He's no John Lydon, is he? Payne says, the problem with the Clash is they don't go with other bands. Ajax says, been listening to the Beatles anthology albums lately. Just need to get the third one. Pretty interesting to hear the outtakes, alternate versions. What do I reckon? I had, I've heard them all. I've heard them all. But I remember having 2 and 3 back in the day and really enjoying them. But again, problem is it does get a little bit repetitive hearing the various takes. I think again, more carefully curated. You know, how many versions of Let It Be do you need to hear, or whatever it was? I can't remember. But no, they're good fun. They're good fun. I like the documentaries that came out at the time as well. They were really good. People forget those, and they were really, really good. What's my favourite post borough? Oh God, Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Would it be the 7-inch single to the theme of Carry On Screaming? Could it be that? Let me just have a look. I'm just having a look at his back catalogue. Green Giant. Yeah, probably that one. I've decided. Definitely that one. And that is the single, the theme from Carry On Screaming. That's obscure, isn't it? Payne says, for me, Circus from Detroit 71. Mountain says, have you ever seen the show Yeah, I've seen a bit of it. Favourite Bebop Deluxe song? I don't have one. Peter Cush says, I don't think Paul Weller's from a wealthy background. Yeah, but he weren't poor. You know, he was middle class, and that's enough. He's a class traitor, and he's not John Lydon. I can't stand Paul Weller. Oh, just thinking about it makes me want to retch. Russ Watkins says, is there a film you haven't seen for ages that you would like to watch again? No. There's one I keep threatening to myself to watch again, and that's Eyes Wide Shut, because I watched it when it first came out and I was left nonplussed by it, and I keep saying to the missus, maybe I should give it another go. I'm not one of these people that watches films over and over again, except Hostel or the Final Destination movies. There are a list of films, or Wayne's World. There are a list of films in the Locke household that if they're on, we have to watch them. But yeah. No, it weren't a plane, it was a helicopter. It was a whirlybird. It's a plane, boss, the plane. It was a helicopter, it weren't a plane. Where's Harrison gone? I don't know. He was here. He wasn't here the other day. I don't know. Cyrus says, it amazes me how bands like this, like in the 70s, like the Floyd and Fleetwood Mac, still can't get along to this day. Well, it's all about money, isn't it? It's always about money. Again, Fleetwood Mac, it wasn't, Lindsey Buckingham just didn't want to tour, when they wanted him to tour, and they wouldn't be reasonable. And Stevie Nicks said, fuck him. And then that gave the poor bastard a heart attack. Oh well. It's only rock and roll. But it's funny because the Rolling Stones get on really well, don't they? They've got it right. Payne says, I wonder what VDGG in 5.1 would sound like. Apart from the song Porn Hearts, not very good. They're not a surround sound band. They're a visceral stereo band. Like Red was a bad, by that band, was a bad, that song just doesn't lend itself to surround sound. It's meant to be sludgy and thick and stereo. 5.1 is a gimmick. I've always said it was a niche thing. Works well with classical music. Works good with with music in films because they mix it differently. But yeah, stereo. It's always got to be stereo, man. Always stereo. Yeah, he was here. I'm sure he was here. Payne says, Tom's been gone forever. Hopefully he'll make an appearance. Well, people come and go. The thing about this is people go, oh, I'm sick of that. Or they die. Or they fall in love. You're no good to me if you fall in love. I can't compete with that. You know? But, you know, people move on. They have other habits. They're maybe TV shows that they want to watch or whatnot. I don't know. It's different. It's like everything else. We all move on. I don't expect everyone to be with me forever and ever and ever. There'll be a time when, you know, Cyrus will bid us farewell, and he won't even say goodbye. He'll the next thing we know, we'll see him on the Hollywood red carpet, you know, getting his Oscar nomination, and that'll be, oh, fucking Cyrus. Look at him. Doesn't even acknowledge us anymore. Won't return my messages on Facebook. He's blocked me, and that'll be it. That's how they treat us. Fair weather friends, a lot of them. We're good when they're desperate, when they're in need of cheering up. But when things are going right for them, fuck you, Darren. Fuck you. I don't need you anymore. I'm on my way. I've got a girlfriend now. Don't need you. You're not going to give me a blowjob. No, you're right. Oh yeah, I'm off. I don't need you. And so it goes. And that is the nature. That is the tree of life when it comes to the YouTube. Russell says, looking back, I don't think Gilmour should have been allowed to carry Pink Floyd after Waters left. Well, yeah, but he argued in court that, hey, we've got ideas. Whereas Roger Waters was saying that they were bankrupt of ideas, because when he tried to get them to reconvene and record, they had no ideas. It's a thing, isn't it? It's a thing. It's a sneaky old what's it? Payne says, don't put a drummer in front and one at the back. Let's not talk about that. Then he's got the 50th anniversary box set of Days of Future Past. Do I still have the Blue Oyster Cult box set? Oh, fuck, yeah I do. It's up there. It's still there. It ain't worth anything, so I haven't sold it. I can't move the camera. But it's just up there. It's just there. It's on top of Joni Mitchell. It's so boring. I'd rather listen to Rush. And that's saying something. So I asked, anything at this point that you're planning on selling? Yeah, that band. I've still got all the 5.1 DVD, CD, DVD things of theirs to go. It's just, I don't know whether to sell it as a job lot, because that'd be easier for me, or to list them individually. I have no idea. I was thinking of getting rid of my Hand Sonic behind me, because let's be honest, I don't use it and I ain't got the room to use it because I'm in a bloody corner. Oh hello, you wagging your tail at me? Oh hello, you're being very quiet tonight. Why haven't you done any snoring? Why don't you snore? You can snore. They want you to snore. They like it if you snore. You tired? Am I keeping you awake? Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? You are a good girl. Yeah, there's stuff, there's CDs and whatnot, but I've got a signed copy of Script, the one that Fish signed, up on eBay if anybody wants it. I keep threatening to sell the Jethro ones, but I look at them and go, they're just so nice to look at. They're nice to read, but everything has its day, Everything has its day. There's a stack of vinyl. I've got, I don't know. Again, it's just a drag, isn't it? It's just a drag. Everything's a drag. There's bits and bobs. I'll have a sort out and I'll find stuff. Andrew got my signed Eno music for installations. He didn't even know it was my eBay account, and that was good. So he got that. That was good. But yeah. There's always something. There's always something on the pile. And that's without all the featured artist CDs that I need to list as well. But yeah. Payne says, I find Days of Future Past sort of badly dated and boring. Other than the song. Yeah. The hit. We all know the hit, don't we? Peter Cushing says impersonation request. Bohemian Rhapsody sung by Blakey from On the Buses. I love you, Butler. Mama. Ooh. I can't do it. Didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again this time tomorrow, I'll have you. Get on that bus. Go on. Get out the depot. Carry on. 'Cause it doesn't really matter. And that will appeal to about 4 people who knows what we're talking about. Those were the days. Anyway, where are we? Pinks is in and he says, I'm looking good, thank you. Thank you. He said, oh, thank you. Fasano says, how goes it? I'm late for the inaugural stream with the new camera. Yeah, I mean, we did the test stream the other day, but this is the new improved camera, new improved stream. We've got it all working. And at great expense. Remember, folks, remember, how many are you in here? How many are you here tonight? Let's see, how many? Does it tell me? Your activity. Oh, analytics. 55. Right, well, if all of you paid a tenner, you'd pay for me camera. Yeah, that'd help. PayPal link in the description. E-beggar. I don't care. I'm a filthy fucking e-beggar. I know, I understand that. But I do this to entertain, so that we all have a chat. But, you know, unfortunately, the equipment does need to be upgraded sometimes. You know, you can't always. And YouTube don't pay. It don't pay any. Not for the likes of me, you know. But like I say, we do have the membership scheme. Only £1. Now, there's loads of ways you can help out. Even if you go onto, I don't know, Spotify and listen to loads of my music, you know, that'd help. Or, you know, buy a record, buy an album. That'd help. Get the music one way or the other. There's loads of different ways. Loads of different ways you could help me out. You know, you could go to one of my affiliate links and buy something on YouTube, on Amazon from YouTube. That'd help. Loads of things you can do. You know. But I am a filthy e-beggar. We just gotta put it out there. Oh dear. Where are we? Oh, we're going for member. What's that? What's that there? What's that? Member? What? What does that mean? Member? Daniel Carroll has become a member, everybody. Oh my God. I need some sort of animation. Don't the other YouTubers have animations or Twitch streamers? They don't the female Twitch streamers remove an item of clothing when they get a donation? Daniel is now he's joined at Aquatarchus level. I don't know what that is. I gave them all prog rock names, all the levels, so you guys would find it fun and amusing. I don't know what I'm doing. And but anyway, thank you. Look, that is a thumb of approval. Look at it. Look at that thumb. Hello, I'm Terry the Thumb, and I want to say thank you. Thank you for being a member. Didn't even see my lips move. Didn't even see his lips move. He didn't move once, did they? Yeah. Oh God. Now what have I done? How do I get back to the chat? Oh, okay. Oh, I see. So you become a member and it tells. Oh, right. So it must tell me if there's a member in the live chat. Oh, I don't know. I really ought to read up on this stuff. I'm useless. But anyway, cool. Pinks is fashionably late. If you're going to be late, be fashionably late. What else have we got? Cyrus says, honestly, even if you take the subject of race out of the question, the death of George Floyd was really appalling. Absolutely. It is. I shouldn't have watched it. I really wish I hadn't have watched it. I don't know how you can do that to someone, especially when you got 2 guys on his back and another guy on his throat. It's appalling. But there was the other fella who got killed in a similar way. He was just standing outside again, I don't know all the names, you know, because there's just so many of them. And that's without the jogger fella who got shot by the other. I wouldn't want to be a black man in America, really. But saying that, I got stopped by the police when I was... I don't know if I'm allowed to tell this story. Oh, what the hell. I think the missus is upstairs, she can't hear. Well, anyway, it was the day I lost my virginity for the second time. It's a complicated story. I can't tell you the first time because the missus will never let me tell you that story. But for the second time, I was walking home on a layer of air, thinking, I'm a man now, I'm a big man. And I turned the corner. I'd done this route for a long time. So I used to walk the missus home and it was about 11 o'clock at night. And I walked her home for years until we moved in together, obviously. And I turned the corner, and I used to go past Leighton Nick police station every night without fail because it was at the end of the road. And these two cops stopped me. Went, oi, you're out late. I went, walking my girlfriend home. Like you do. And they searched me. They searched me on the street. And they find my student card. And the guy goes to me, oh, student, eh? And he goes, what are you studying? Yeah? What are you studying? And I, quick-witted, said, why, officer? I'm studying law. And with that, they took a step back. They gave me my student card and my contents of my pockets, which was just my keys and my wallet, and said, have a lovely evening. There you go. I'm a white man, and that happens. It happens to everyone if you're out of a night, so these things happen. So that's my experience. But like I said, I was about 17, 18 then. It must have been 18, I think. 17, 18, 17? I don't know. It was a long time ago. I can't be expected to remember these things. But the point was, I was feeling on top of the world, and then I got stopped by the police. That's going in my biography, by the way. But yeah, it's just it's all terrible. It really is what's going on. It's all terrible. Why can't we all just get along? Why can't we all just love each other? Unfortunately, you're right, Payne. I don't think anything's going to change because a lot of these, again, it's institutional. And again, until there are more... Thing is, right, is there was a person of colour with the George Floyd incident. He was standing there holding people back. And the thing is, if that had happened over here, the public would have intervened and there would have been a mighty ruckus. People would have got involved and, until tasers were pulled. But over in America, no one can intervene. All they can do is record it. Because they've got guns, they're going to shoot you dead if you even dare go up to them and push him off the guy. But there was, like I say, there was an officer of colour standing there, letting it all happen. Because I was going to say they need more people of colour in the police, but I think again the police, many of the police forces in America are racially diverse, but that doesn't seem to have stopped it. There still seems to be, I don't know, was it racial profiling? And even if there is racial profiling, you don't have to sit on a man and crush his neck until he asphyxiates. That just seems beyond. I mean, they had him cuffed. They could just put him in the car. They could have got a van and took him away. I can't comprehend it, But then you've seen it before. This isn't something that, Again, when I saw that clip there was, like I said, a vagrant who was sleeping at a petrol station. And about 10 officers came. And they knelt on him until he died, because that's what it seems to be their thing of restraint. I don't know. We live in strange, but I don't think it's going to change. It's because America is a racist country. It was born on racism. White man came, took the land away from the red man, and that's it. And that's all you need to know. It's the same with Australia and New Zealand. Are we allowed to talk about Australia and New Zealand? Because they need to give those lands back to the, to the Aborigines and the Maoris, to the native people. But that's what happens. We invade, and we kick people out. And to keep the power, we have to keep those people down. That's what goes on. Again, it's different in the UK. Again, because like it's only been like 100 years since we got since we got the vote from the landowners. In the UK there was a very master and servant. That was what servitude. It was a big thing over here. You had the worker and you had the owner. And go back further than that, you had serfs and peasants and people like that. And so enslavement, we've all been, again, not taking it away from black people and what goes on in America and slavery in the last 500 years, but everyone can trace their lineage back to slavery of some sort or another. And this is why I can't understand why we're not all on the same side, because we've all been there, we all come from the same thing, and it's a shame we all can't deal with this. But I don't know. It's just I don't understand America. It's supposed to be the free world and everything, but it's very brutalistic and very 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 base, very very animalistic, binary, black and white. There's no nuance in anything there. It's a shame. But then I've always said America's a young country. It's going through its teenage years. It needs another 200 years under its belt when it might suddenly grow up and become an adult and be able to deal with all this stuff. Lenin says he's sick of the Soros conspiracy. That's George Soros, who's supposed to be controlling everyone. Look, oh dear. If rich Jews are in control, they're doing a fucking bad job of it, aren't they? It's because, again, weak-minded people can't understand why their life is shit. Life's shit, and it's your fault. It's just the way it is. The trick to good life is just to get through it without hurting anyone else, and then you've won. But they have to talk away their own failings by blaming invisible conspiracies. These people are in control. These people are doing this, and it's like, oh, do grow up. Do grow up. Conspiracies. Everything's a conspiracy. Everything's a conspiracy, isn't it? But you're right, Lenin. You need to put your bill in. You need to build George. TJ says, black prog fan here from the USA. Oh, that's good. That's what I want to hear. And that's what always, prog's so white, isn't it? And that's what's annoying, because there's so many great black musicians. It's a shame that they've, especially like in the world of jazz, you'd have thought there'd have been more of a crossover. But hey, not to be, I'm afraid. Well, good to hear that you're here. You're welcome here. Everyone's welcome here. I hate everyone equally. You know that. I'm an equal opportunist when it comes to disliking people. It's nothing to do with the colour of your skin. It's what you do. It's how you treat me and how you treat everyone else. But no, it's good to know. It's good to know. I mean, okay, TGH, what makes you? How comes you're in a problem? Because, Malcolm. Who remembers Malcolm? Does anyone remember Malcolm? No, nobody remembers Malcolm. He was into prog, and I'm talking about an actor called Malcolm Xerxes. Terrible story how he ended. I don't really want to talk about it, but he, just look it up. You can go and find it yourself. But he was a black guy and he played drums and he was very into that band. He actually had the screaming face on his drum skin. And he was really into prog and that, and he did some acting and that, and he was really a real cool dude. But it's just a real shame how that ended, and it's a shame I didn't get a chance to talk to him about it. I heard some of what went on, and he talked to me about some of it, but it was a real shame. And it was a real bad thing what he did as well. So if anyone thinks I'm defending him, I'm not. I think what he did was awful, and I think, it's just a shame it couldn't. That's what happens when you bring guns into the equation, isn't it? Go look it up. I'm not going to talk about it here. It's a long time ago. Peter says, the problem with peaceful protests is groups want to smash the place up and rob TVs. Yeah, there's that. I mean, again, it's a shame because it's their own communities that they're damaging. Not everyone's going to be insured. You know, it's usually the mom and pop stores that take the brunt of it. You know, I don't know. But then there's the thing that, you know, if you're right, then people take notice. You know, the government takes notice. I don't think Donald Trump's going to take any notice. And I don't think he's going to change anything for you. He's just going to use this to secure a second term. And that's the way it goes. Exactly. Can't we all just get along? Absolutely. Peter Cush said, growing up in the 80s, America looked like the coolest place on earth. Now look at it like a pressure cooker about to explode at any minute. Yeah, again, I remember because we used to have like American culture, you know, shipped into us. It was like, yeah, let's be like America. And then we got the shopping malls and it got, you know, it's fucking awful, isn't it? Yeah, it's a shame America can't sort it itself out. But, you know, maybe one day. Maybe one day. Should never broken away from us. That's what independence gets you, guys. Come back. Let the Queen take over. She'll sort you out. Pink says, thoughts on post Peter Green Fleetwood Mac? There are so many versions of Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, Fleetwood Mac are alright. There's that mid-period between where it's a bit, you know, and then there's the, was it Buckingham Nicks Fleetwood Mac, and it gets good. You know, it's middle of the road stuff, but I like Lindsey Buckingham as a vocalist and guitarist. I think he's probably one of the most underrated guitarists. He's a bit like Prince in that respect. You know, people see him and hear him, but they don't realise what a great player he is. He has a very interesting technique. Do watch his technique. You know, but again, complex guy, highly strung. Artists are, you know. Munton says, I feel like I was born at a decent time in America, the last of the good old days. I think 2016 was when things really turned upside down. Bowie dying caused a whole heap of rubbish, didn't it? Bowie, then it was Brexit, and then Prince died, and then a load of other stuff happened, and then George Michael died at Christmas Day. Can't play Last Christmas ever again. And that's all Bowie's fault. I've lost the thing again. Oh, it's all gone up again. What happened to XTC? Nobody cares. Karen says, thanks for a very well said perspective on the situation here in the US. You've stated things very well. Well, again, people that get annoyed with the Black Lives Matter thing, I mean, I get annoyed about it over in the UK because what happens in the UK, you can't compare it to what... And there's a white man, they're going to say, well, you're white privilege. I ain't got any privilege because I've been stopped by the police. When the Mrs. Car got broken into, who did they fingerprint? They fingerprinted me. Oh, well, it's just to, you know, exclude you. They didn't fingerprint the missus, whose car it was. I don't even drive. But okay. So, oh yeah, and your fingerprints will be held on record. It's like, oh, thanks for that. You know, but that's my white privilege, isn't it? Yeah, there is white privilege, but it helps if you've got money and power and influence. If you've got nothing, you don't have any influence. You don't. Seriously, that's a misnomer. You know, if you don't have a job and you're at the bottom of the pile, your white influence gets you nowhere. But when people in the UK go on about Black Lives Matter like it's a big thing, you're more likely in the UK to be stabbed to death by another black person, and that's what really concerns me, is the black on black crime. You know, young men killing. I mean, there was an autistic guy who got shot on his own doorstep. You know, black autistic fella, and they shot him in the head. It's like, why would you do that? So what's that about? You know? And but, you know, in America it's different, and it means something different. And people who get annoyed by that, was it Black Lives Matter, need to, the thing is the way I look at it is, yeah, Black Lives Matter. And once we've sorted that out, we can go on to, and sorted out all the other minorities who are having a hard time with it, then we can upgrade it to All Lives Matter, you know? So don't do the All Lives Matter just yet, because we've still got to deal with this problem, and then we can move on, because it is a problem. It is a problem. You just got to see what happened with George Floyd and all the other people. And like I say, I think there's a problem with police brutality with just anybody. You know, I think it's a real problem. You know, they shoot to kill, don't they? So there was that woman who was shot. She'd called the police out, and I think she was white. Because someone had been lurking, she called the police out, and she went to meet the police, and they shot her. And you just go, okay. But this is the thing. I think American police officers are racist and stupid. You know. I mean, then again, I'm not taking away anything from Black Lives Matter. That's important. You know, I'm just saying. There's a lot of fucking weird police shit that happens, and can you imagine how much of it isn't filmed and isn't seen by bystanders? They were lucky. Not lucky, but George Floyd was lucky that somebody was there with a camera, and there were security cameras to catch the other angles, because it could have been a very different story. You know, this is it. You know, I've talked too much about that. Sim says the remixes of Freedom as a Bird and Real Love by Giles Martin on +1. Thought the originals were better. I don't really care. Guns, the root of all evil. Absolutely, Ajax. Buckingham Nick's album is great, says Garrett. Pink says ZZ Top have been getting on fine for 50 years. It is possible. Look at Queen. They did all right. Sorry, says I confirm all that will happen when I go to Hollywood and earn my billions. Well, I hope you do. Good luck. You know, if you work hard, I'm sure it will sort itself out. I look forward to being ignored by you. But yeah, keep it. I hope it works out all right for you. It's a tough business, you know, but you never know. It might all work, you know. Payne says another fallen stream reviewer is Ryan Calhoun. No, he is a lunatic. He had many sock accounts and was abusing me on Twitter. He is blocked. He says it wasn't him, but it was. So he's gone. Okay, and I hope he's probably here now watching. You know, but Payne says, I can't believe that someone thought Darren would like Blue Oyster Cult, much less 90% of the whole catalogue. Well, what happened is I was taking recommendations and somebody said Blue Oyster Cult, so I put it on a wish list because I had my Amazon wish lists up. It's still around somewhere, but I don't think there's a lot on it. I don't know. There might be. I don't pay attention. And somebody gifted it to me. I think it was on offer. I think it was like 20 quid or whatnot. And it's really good value for 20 quid. But I remember my old English teacher liking them. And so, Blue Oyster Cult. And I'm like, okay. All right then. But, yeah, not really my scene, Not really my scene. I'm going to keep the Tulsets. I don't have the Sad Pig Dance by Dave Evans, but it's a very good album. I ripped it, didn't I? But it's a good record, that. Oh yeah, I'm e-begging, man. Hey, stop knocking Queen. Stop knocking Queen. I won't have it. Stop it. Andrew's in. I was talking about you. Now you got me no box set. Yeah, never read instructions, Fretbuzz. Never read instructions. Mars Attacks. We come in peace. See, Lenin's been searched because of his stimming. Again, if you're autistic, stimming is hand movements, jerkiness, it's to self-stimulation. Over here, again, our police are a bit more aware of these kind of things. Again, they can still make mistakes, but the disabled certainly can be a victim of American police. Like I said, I've seen a deaf man shot dead by an American police officer, caught on his dash cam. It was, again, horrific. But yeah, I feel sorry for you. You're gonna find it hard. That's why you got to be as normal as you can, and that's hard. You got to at least act. Munton says, "Did you know that rapper Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, is a fan of Italian prog? No such thing as Italian prog, Garrett. No such thing. It's true. I'm not the only person that said it. Steve Howe said it as well. I'm not the only one who said it. Steve Howe has said it. La 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 la." Scarface says, "Hey Darren, Canadian fan of yours. Keep being you." Oh, I had a French Canadian have a right go at me the other day in the comments. French Canadian. Yeah, probably out of Quebec, I imagine. You know what? They can be a bit uppity. As I said, you failed at being a Canadian and being French. Well done. Look, it's a British thing. It's like country. I say country and western music. What do you say? You say American. I say reggae. You say Jamaican. Yeah. I say umpa. You go German. Yeah. Prog, British. Simple as. Everything else is just merely a facsimile. You know that. It's just a copy, a poor carbon copy of the original. Okay. You know I'm right. You know. And Steve Howe said it, and there's someone else I can't remember. I wish there was another prog musician who called it British. You know, it's a genre. You know, I'm not being pernickety. I'm just telling you how it is. You know, just telling you what it's like. You'll come round to my way of thinking one day. Lenin says, funny people mention XTC. They had one hit with Dear God. What's so good about them? They're not very good. They had a couple of hits. They're, as an album band, mediocre. They've never had the definitive album. You know, that's what I've found. I mean, I try and be. I'm not a fan now because of Andy Partridge being a fucking Holocaust denier. And that really, I've sold my XTC stuff on the back of that. It's like, oh, really, Andy? Really? We're going to play that game? And, yeah, not good. Not good. But no, XTC, I think, are overrated. I think people say, oh, yeah, I like XTC because they want to, I don't know, score a few kudos points. Pink says, nice Spinal Tap in his tweet today. Well, everyone was posting black squares, so that was the only black square I could find. So none more black should die from police brutality. See, it's tap new. Oh yeah, I was fingerprinted. No, it was nothing to do with me follically challenged. It was because the car had been broken into, and the car had been broken into before a couple of times, but this time they wanted to take my fingerprints. Why? I don't drive. Yeah. There you go. TG says, I live in Texas. I've seen that band several times. Got some insults from jerks at the Thrack tour, but prog fans are nicer now. If Brits can like the blues, I can like prog. Well, that's good. I'm glad you like it. Well, exactly, Cyrus. You know, the Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter thing, it's just, again, it's a divisionary thing. I understand. I understand what it's for. It's a hashtag. It's it's a meme. It's awareness. And it's highly politicised, and rightly so, I guess. But it can be used to divide people, and that's really not where we should be going. We should all be together. But then the All Lives Matter it undermines the message of the Black Lives. You see where we're going with this? It gets very complicated very quickly, and it's it's very complicated very quickly, very complicated. And then you go, oh no, you're white splaining? And you go, no, I'm not. Just saying it might be better if you try this. This might be a better strategy. But you're white. You can't understand our struggle. And it's like, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Faced discrimination when I was a kid because I was from a single parent family, and so when there were school dinners I had to join the other queue. Couldn't go and queue with the regular kids. We had a special ticket and had to queue with the other kids. They wouldn't do that now. Wouldn't get the black kids doing that, would they? That was acceptable back in the 70s. I was bullied at university for my accent. I had tutors having a go at me for the way I spoke. You're not a Barrow boy now. You are not working in the markets now. This tutor used to have a go at me. One tutor called me evil. That was nice because of the way I spoke. One tutor marked down my work deliberately. I've proved that because the missus did the same course. We resubmitted the work and she got an A. I got an E. It was exactly the same work. But for some reason, she didn't like me either. So people are judged all the time. You got to remember, I did have hair down to my arse. I looked like and I used to wear leather, dress in black, wear leather. So people look at you and think, and everyone has preconceived notions of each other, whether you're black, white, or otherwise. It comes with the territory. Of course, I'm not a black man. Oh no, and he'll never experience my life. That's the whole point. But if we all talk to each other, we all get along, and we're all on the same level, and we don't look down on each other and say you can't talk about this. You can't exclude people from discussions. You're not going to learn. You're not going to educate if you exclude people from talking. This is what I don't like about the way things go now. It's the whole cancel culture, the whole I'm not talking to you because you have a different opinion. You'll never change anyone's mind by excluding them. We should all just talk. Let's just talk. Let's have a chat, But yeah, I can see where you're coming from there, Cyrus. Might ask if I think Sad Big Dance would be good for review. Not really. I don't think you'd all appreciate it. A bit too clever. Ajax says, got to ask what I think of Adam Lambert. I think he's really good, and I think he does a fantastic job with Queen, and I think he's great, and I think Freddie would have approved, even if he was alive now. He'd be sitting at home or going to the opera, whilst Adam Lambert would be singing for him. Because you don't think Freddie Mercury would still be doing this? It's 70. He'd have packed up at 50. He was saying about packing up. In the 80s, saying, "Oh man, I'm getting too old for this. Getting too old to shake my ass." Sarah says, "I continue to do what I can and treat everyone with the same, regardless of their appearance and gender. I just can't express what's wrong in the current affairs in a different way. All we can do is just, treat people how we'd like to be treated. Avoid those who we see as being problematic and troublesome, to ourselves. Just avoid trouble. I'm not saying cancel. I'm just saying, just avoid it. We don't have to engage with everything. We don't have to engage. We can actually step back, you know. Yeah, Tim Staffel still performs, yeah. Pinks has been on an Alan Parsons roll. Watched his live Columbia concert, and it's good. No musicians matter, absolutely. The Clash certainly don't matter. The one where nothing mattered. Oh yeah. Andrew said, during the COVID-19 I got dirty looks for being Asian. See racism everywhere. It will never go away. Oh, sorry to hear that. Lenin's Office is, I think, it's your best live stream. Oh, okay, thank you. You go and listen to your psychedelic music and do your psychedelic reviews channel, like I told you to. Huh? Get off your ass and do it. Go on. Go and do the psychedelic review show. You know you can do it. Yeah, of course you got my luck. I'll give you luck. Is it like I was surprised to find out that Freddie Mercury was British. He wasn't. He was from Zanzibar originally, and then he came to the UK as a lad. He's was it Zoroastrian by his religion. But yeah, no, he's very exotic. He was very, very exotic. That's why Queen worked. That's why he was an enigmatic frontman. But you couldn't get a more British singer or band, you know, especially when he used to wear the crown and the ermine. But no, these bloody immigrants coming over here starting a rock band, they should be ashamed of themselves, shouldn't they? Casey says maybe it's human nature to be racist. No, it's learnt behaviour. Kids, if you put them together, they all get on. Again, when I was a kid, we all got on. And then I noticed a change when we moved on to schools, and when I was finally towards the end of it, you know, the Asian kids I used to hang around with started peeling off, and they had special handshakes. And again, that was more along religious lines. Again, this is where, you know, the Islamic kids, I guess because they went to the mosques and that, started kind of, like I say, peeling off. And the kids you used to play football with, you know, started playing. You never got the invites anymore, you know. What's it? Yeah, just thinking about being at school again in the old days, and crazy. Anyway, I'm done. It's too late, and I've got to go. Thank you for watching. We'll do this all again soon. If you can't be good, be safe, but more importantly, don't tell your mother. Ta-da.